Hey, hey, hey. Okay, I'm done. Ah. If you want to find out how to look like a glam merman or a mermaid like I did, just keep watching. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Christopher J. MUA and I'm happy to see you here. Today, I'm doing something very exciting to me. I decided that I was going to make another Halloween look and I think I'm going to make myself a merman. It's gonna be more of a glam merman, so maybe kind of a mermaid. I was thinking mermaids in my head as like blue and silver and white. And then I was also thinking that there would be like blue and silver and black. Pretty much my idea of what Christmas colors are, aside from red and green. But I guess that would be if there were like two forms of mermaids, like the good mermaids and the bad mermaids. I think I'm gonna go with the good mermaids, so they'll be like white and blue and silver, kind of like Christmas but with mermaids. The thing that I was really excited about is the fact of being able to make like scales on my skin and really look kind of like a fish out of water. A couple of my friends have talked about the idea of being a mermaid for Halloween, and it just sounds like a really good idea, and I've been visualizing just kind of my depiction of that. And I think I have a pretty good idea of what I envision a mermaid to be with cosmetics and makeup. And I want to give it a shot on myself. So I'll be a merman, but I'm gonna be a glam merman. Leave me a comment down below. What do you guys think a mermaid would look like? What kind of color scheme do you think it would have? Glam mermaid. This is gonna be kind of like a first impressions and a try on and a Halloween look all wrapped into one. A lot of the products I haven't used yet, so I'm not sure how they're really gonna turn out. So I could completely botch this. Either way, if it looks terrible, I'm still gonna upload it because you can't get any worse than my first video. So we can only go up from here. I'm gonna be starting out with primer. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Hangover RX. Oh. I might have used a little much on that, but that's okay. Wow, okay. Maybe a lot of much. I've used this primer once before, and I've used it in combination with the NYX Pore Filling Primer, and they worked together pretty well. I'm kind of scared of using that Becca primer again because of the texture it left on my face yesterday. Day before yesterday? No. On my first video. I just put the Too Faced primer all over my face, and now I'm gonna go in with the Benefit Professional Primer. Now, I don't actually have Benefit Professional Primer yet. I have a sample that I got from Ulta of Benefit Professional Primer. I really like it. I highly recommend it because I really like it. It is very pore filling. I don't want to compare it to the NYX Pore Filler because I feel like it's completely different. Oh my god, that was way too much. With the off-the-wall chance that you end up using Benefit Professional Primer because I'm using it, I suggest not using nearly as much as I did. Okay, you know what? I lied. The Benefit Professional feels a lot better than my NYX. I didn't think it was. The first time I tried it, I didn't try very much of it. I just tested out a little bit. I didn't really use an all-over application. And now that I have, I won't say the NYX Pore Filling Primer is bad because it's not by any means. It's what I started with and was my go-to holy grail. But now that I've used the Benefit, I don't know if I can use any other primer. Because you have to remember that I have pores the size of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I really like that primer. That like filled everything. So I'm gonna have to save up and actually get that because I kind of prefer it over the NYX pore filler. But the NYX pore filler still is not bad, so I still really like it. Priming is done. So now I'm gonna go with foundation. This is also new. Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Smooth Foundation in shade 125 Nude Beige. I'm gonna go in with the JH03 from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Master Collection. This is the first time using this foundation also. I used the Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation on my little cousin whenever we did some eye look on her one time. And that looked nice. It was a little bit too light for her, but that was my fault. I shade matched wrong. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna pour a lot on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna keep pouring a lot on the back of my hand, apparently. Just when you think it's enough, it's never enough, you know? I kinda wish that I would have gone a shade lighter because mermaids don't get any sun, like ever. And it probably would have been pretty beneficial to go lighter. But we're gonna pull it off, see what happens. I'm gonna use highlighter over the top of it anyway. I'm just gonna put this all over first. Well, if this is full coverage foundation, it's definitely gonna fill my face up. Okay, and that's the finished look. It's raining really hard here right now. That's actually part of the inspiration for this look because it made me think of water. It made me think of all the people that were talking about having mermaid Halloween costumes, and it just seemed fitting. So let me know in the comments, what are you guys gonna be for Halloween? If anything, I'm in cosmetology school and we're allowed to wear costumes, and I think I'm gonna be the glam zombie that I made in my first video. I think that would also be very fitting because it's cosmetology school, so I can be glam if I want to be. It's just kind of weird because I'm from a pretty small town, and if I was to wear makeup in public, people would look at me really funny. And I've got to get over that. That's my own personal insecurity because I love makeup and I love playing with makeup and I love how makeup can make people feel. It just makes people feel beautiful and good. And I know I play around with a lot of costumey makeup like zombie and mermaid, merman, either one. But seriously though, it's a cool thing. It's awesome that you can really change somebody's day. A problem that I typically have, and I don't know if it's just primer on my nose or if my nose just gets oily, but foundation is always so thin on my nose. And my redness shows through just a little bit whenever I put the foundation on, and it doesn't look the greatest. But this foundation though was a pretty good match, and it's got nice coverage, and it went on well with a brush. It's not streaky. It covered my beard mostly. No, it covered my beard. And I've got a little bit of shine still, so it's not too mattifying, which it's named Dewy. Dewy+smooth, SPF 18. It says it's made for normal to dry skin though, so I would bet if somebody that's really oily put that on, they would probably glisten to the gods if it didn't break apart on them. It is very dewy though. I like it. It's got some shine, but not so much shine that you look oily. Just has that healthy glow about it, you know? I really like that look. It's still dewy. It's got good coverage. And that was quite a bit of foundation. You probably don't need to go that hard with it, but it sat well. It wasn't too much, and it's not looking cakey right now anyway, which I haven't set any of it yet, so we'll find out. Okay, that's it for the foundation. And now I'm gonna go in with my handy dandy Tarte Shape Tape. This is still in the shade light medium, and I'm just going to apply that onto my under eye and up onto my nose, just a tad. Forehead. It is so hard to do that in the monitor because everything's backwards. But I still want to look at the camera and at you guys so that you can see. And I'm going to blend the concealer out with the JH08. It's so different using brushes to blend everything out than it is using a beauty blender, because a beauty blender you just kind of flip it over, you don't pick another brush to do anything. The thing I love about brushes though is that you can just kind of change it up and use whatever brush you want for whatever process you want, because who says you have to use this brush for only one thing? And whenever I blend out my concealer, I don't really like to pull too much on my skin. A, because I don't want any streaks. And B, I don't want to create any premature lines on my face from blending out concealer. That's the same reason why I don't tug at my eyes whenever I'm applying eyeliner. I think I learned that from Jeffree Star, actually. Because he looks like a mannequin and he never pulls on his face. So I'm not going to either because I don't look like a mannequin and I don't want to make that happen any faster. Now anywhere that the concealer is kind of harsh and it makes a hard line, I'm gonna blend it out just a little bit so that it's not so intense with my same JH03 brush. Like on my forehead where I have a big circle spot of concealer. And I always get my concealer a shade or two lighter than my actual skin tone because I want my under eyes to be brightened, not just concealed. I want to look like I slept for days before I filmed or put makeup on. I really like that foundation. That's really nice. It sits well. I'm not super cakey. It laid nicely on my skin. Yeah, that's good. Now that my concealer's blended out, I'm going to set my face. I don't want to use anything that's too mattifying because I'm trying to be a merman here and I don't want to dry my face out. I want to look as dewy as possible. So I'm gonna use my NYX HD Studio Photogenic setting powder. I'm choosing this because it doesn't say matte finish on it and well, I guess my Coty Airspun doesn't say it either. No, we're gonna go with the MAC. We're gonna see what happens with the MAC. I mean NYX. Oh, sorry, my bad. We're just gonna go with the NYX. I'm just gonna pour a little bit of that into the lid because I'm gonna make a mess. Okay, so I've got a little bit of the NYX powder in the lid and I'm taking that on my JH01 brush, just a big giant fluffy brush. And tap that off. I'm gonna start with my forehead because I want to set that the fastest because my forehead wrinkles, honey, they are intense to say the least. And I want those to disappear and be gone as much as possible. And I'm also going to apply that right on my under eye to set that so it doesn't crease. Probably not the best brush to use to apply that on my under eye, but it looks like it got pretty good up in there. And I'm also going to set right between my eyes because that is very wrinkly right there as well. And I'm just gonna run a little bit all over the rest of my face just to kind of lock that foundation in place. My God, that made me so white. What? This was supposed to be translucent. Am I translucent to you? Hey, but you know what? Mermen are probably kind of white. Is it just me? No, that made me super white. I am going to spray my face real quick with some Fix Plus. It's MAC Fix Plus, and it's just a little baby size. But I want to see if maybe that white color that the NYX setting powder just left will dissipate a little bit and not be so intense. It just looks so white to me. I don't know if it's just me on camera, on the monitor, or if I'm really that white now. I can't really tell if that toned things down a bit or not. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera. If you wanna check out what I normally do for my brows, you can check out my last video. I think I did both brows on camera actually. I'm pretty sure that's why my last video was 45 minutes, or part of it anyway. If you don't want to go back and look, I use the Brow Contour Pro in Brown Light. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in both brows and I will be right back. Okay, so brows are applied. This is when the motto, sisters not twins, rings so true. Oh God, now that it's on monitor, it's even worse. It'll work, whatever. So those are brows done. I'm gonna go into my Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette again, into the shade Princess Cut. Carve out the cheekbones. Oh no, I put that spot the wrong spot. Ugh. You know, I always used the NYX Pro contour palette before this, and I always really liked it. I never had any problems out of it, but I noticed that the shades always kind of just didn't work the greatest on me. I have a really neutral skin tone, and it always seemed like something was off a little bit using that palette. And ever since I got this in my boxy looks, I have absolutely loved it because the shades A are really, really nice, and B, it smells so good. I mean, the cocoa smell that it has, it makes me really look forward to applying my contour. Wow, I am super chiseled. So we like our Merman to have jawbones for miles. And I skipped bronzer purposely this time because the look I'm going for, I don't want it to be any warmer. I don't want it to have any warmth at all because I came from underwater. Why would I have a healthy glow going on? I'm gonna use a little bit of the Smashbox Photo Finish Centering Citrus Primer Water just because I want to feel refreshed, and I'm about to start on the really fun part, so I want to kind of melt everything together that I've got going on.
Don't mind me.
I got a stencil pack from Wet n Wild. It's from the Fire Dragon and Ice Dragon collection that they created. This is called the Dragon Queen stencil. I figured I could use them for Merman scales instead, and I figured it would look really, really cool. I don't have any scissors though, hold that thought. And now I'm back from outer space. Just kidding, but I have scissors now. They don't let me have real scissors. I have to have safety scissors. Just kidding. Let's see what this stencil is like. I'm hoping that it's gonna be something that I can easily put on my face or against my face and it look cool and not take off all my makeup at the same time. How does it work? I can't get it off the thing. Ooh, this one I think would look perfect. Like, oh, I get it. It goes like right there. Yeah. But what about these? Where did these go? Yeah. Did any of you guys get the Fire Dragon and Fire Ice collection or any parts of it? I'm curious what you thought. I saw Nikita Dragon and Gabriel Zamora make a collab with that, and Gabriel was I want to say he was the Ice Dragon and Nikita was the Fire Dragon? Maybe, I might have it backwards. And I couldn't really pick whose I thought was better. They both did a perfect job. So this is actually a sticker, and I do not want to put a sticker on my foundation. I want to say I probably should have thought of this before I decided to start. I don't know what to do. I know what I'm gonna do. I am going to take my NYX loose setting powder and my big fluffy brush again, and I'm gonna dip right into the setting powder and I'm gonna set the sticker. Oh my god! I'm gonna set everything, but I'm also gonna set the sticker. This is actually really fun. Okay, the sticker is set. I'm gonna take my JH38 and be prepared with my sticker on my head of the scales, and I'm gonna go into my Chameleon pigment from Misfit Beauty. This is in the shade Masquerade, and very carefully and lightly I'm going to fill in the stencil and not make a mess, or try to not make a mess. Okay, now that I have completed one of the hardest things I think I've ever done in my life, I'm gonna try and clean up some of the fallout that happened. Listen, if you do this on your own, I strongly suggest maybe, I don't know, having help or not. It might have made it harder. I don't know if anybody could have even helped me with it. It actually looks really cool though. And now I'm just gonna go in with my JH42. It's this tiny little detail brush. More like kind of a flat packer brush, but it's a lot smaller. And I'm just gonna try and kind of clean up the edges of those. And I'm also gonna take my shape tape on the back of my hand and using the JH39, I'm gonna go in and apply that concealer in between the scales to bring out where the scales might have connected with the pigment coming together. Okay, so now that I fixed all the edges in between the scales, I'm gonna go in with the JH34 and I'm just gonna fan out around the edges of the concealer where I use that to kind of patch all the edges so that it doesn't leave the really hard lines of the concealer, and so it just kind of blends in with the foundation again. Okay, so that's completely done. And whenever I went in with the JH34, I did that with a completely dry brush just so I could pick up the product that was already down with the concealer that I had used to fix all the cracks, just to spread it out a little bit so it was a little more consistent. And now I'm gonna try this again on the side of my face. And I'm gonna use the other stencil and we're gonna see how this turns out. And I love that pigment because you look at me one way, it's green. You look at me another way, it's purple. I mean, look at that shift. That is so cool. And it did help out a lot using the powder to get rid of most of the sticky on the stencil. I honestly think that's the most fun. This is the biggest mess I have ever made in my life. And that's why I love doing this, because I get to make a mess and it's okay. And I'm gonna use the same brush I used before, the JH38. And I'm not gonna fill in this whole thing because I don't want it to end at that straight line in the back. So I'm just gonna start at the front and fill in as I go backward. And really, I didn't realize this until I started using it, but this Masquerade Chameleon pigment goes so far with just a tiny bit. So you can use it sparingly. And I learned that the hard way. And it was so cool whenever I ordered the pigment. I have never gotten a business card with an online order unless I was ordering business cards. And that was really cool to me. That was just a nice personal touch. I thought it was a neat idea. So thank you, Alea, or Aaliyah. It looks like Alea from Misfit Beauty. Not only do I really like the pigments, but I like the company. I like supporting indie brands because one day I want to be an indie brand. What do we got? Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, I really like that. And I don't have to fix it this time. The only thing that makes me really sad is there's pigment all over my hand. And this is cherished. You know what? I'm gonna try to put the pigment back into the jar. All right, hands are clean. Now we're gonna move on to eyes. I'm gonna start with priming the eyes with my Tarte Shape Tape. And using my JH08, I'm just gonna blend that out. And I'm being very, very careful not to destroy any of the scales that I've completed because I really don't want to have to try and take that off and do those again. Ooh, I almost messed up. Now that my eyes are concealed, I'm gonna go into my Park Avenue Princess palette again and use the shade Enhance with the JH30 and just lightly tap that onto my eyes to set them. Okay, so now that my eyes are set, this look is gonna be more costumey than anything else, so I want it to emphasize costume. And I want it to be really bold and really intense because I want it to show that I'm a merman. I'm saving the rest of my palettes for other videos, so I'm gonna start and go into my Take Me Back to Brazil palette. It's got the most color variation I could possibly ever want to use for now. It's missing some shades that I do want for future looks, but for this it's gonna work well. For my transition shade, I am gonna use that teal shade. I'm gonna start out with that with my JH36 brush, just a really big, fluffy blending brush. And I'm really gonna go hard in the color and just start going all over with this. Like that. That is exactly what I wanted. And same thing on the other side. And don't worry about getting the color all over the crease because we are going to be cutting the crease later. And I'm just kind of fanning it out from the edge of my eye and bring it in. So now that that blue is done, we are gonna go in with this darker blue right here. It's more of a turquoise. It's this color right here. It reminds me of a fall time blue. And I'm putting this blue on the JH37. It's a little smaller of a round blending brush because I want to condense this since it's so much darker, mainly to the crease and not blow it out nearly as much. I'm gonna start just on the inside of my crease. Like I don't want to darken inside here by my nose. I just want to darken the outer half of my eye in the crease. And I'm gonna fan it out just a little bit as well. Do you guys ever have the problem where you can't get the other side to match what you did on the first side? Now I'm gonna go back in with the JH36. That's the same brush that I used for that lighter teal shade, and I'm just gonna blend that out a little more so that it blends into the darker blue just a little bit better. Oh my god, I accidentally picked up the dark blue and put that on my upper lid by my brow bone. What's done is done, we can't go back. I'm gonna use that darker blue on the JH36 and put that on my brow bone and blend that up and out. Wow, so that is a little more dramatic than what I was originally going for. But go bold or go home, we're doing it. I gotta say though, this BH Cosmetics palette is pigmented because I dipped that in there once and put that on my eye and it was everywhere after that. It was done. Oh, did you see that? Look at it. It's so much blue. Pretty though, at least. I'm gonna say that's blended far enough now. I'm gonna go back in with the JH37 and I'm gonna go into this dark blue down here at the bottom. It almost looks like a black, but it's not. I'm gonna take that and put that in the crease. This time though, I'm gonna make sure I only put this in the crease. And I'm only gonna use this color to deepen up the crease, just to get a nice transition in between that teal blue color and the color I'm gonna use on my lid. Okay, I think that's all the dark blue I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the other side. Now I'm just gonna go back in with my JH36 and blend out that lighter blue color into the darker blue color so that it diffuses the edge of the dark blue, just so it's not quite as harsh. Okay, and we are blended for days. Now it's time to cut the crease. I'm gonna go in with my Alamar flat packer brush. It's one that I got in BoxyCharm last month when it was Boxy Luxe. It's just a nice, clean edged, round packer brush. And I'm gonna use that to cut the crease with the concealer because of that nice clean edge. That mirror isn't gonna cut it. That mirror isn't gonna cut the crease. That's not what I meant, but that was funny. Going right in with the pigment. Oh, that is so beautiful. Okay, so after a little patchwork underneath this eye, because that fallout did not come off, all it did was just blend into everything else and turn everything a dark blue. I had to go in and take that out, fix it up again on the bottom. So now on the other side, I'm going to try to learn from my mistakes and do it right the first time and not have that big boo-boo that I made. I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe off this setting powder with a clean brush, the JH07, and just get rid of that completely before I even start over here, because I want to have a clean slate completely. I don't want to have anything on that side. I'm going to take the Shape Tape back of my hand and use my Alomar Packer brush and go ahead and cut my crease again. And now I'm not gonna let it set at all, and I'm gonna go right in with that pigment and apply that everywhere I put the concealer. Oh wait, no, I am going to first put powder under my eye. Okay, so now with the left side complete, I'm just gonna brush away the powder. And there are just a couple little spots on that side where there was some fallout. I'll fix that up. I'm in love with the duochrome that it has. I'm gonna go ahead and touch up the few spots that I have that did have fallout that turned a little blue on me. The next thing I'm gonna do is take my JH40 and go into the teal shade we used the very first time that didn't end up sticking too much, and just buff that out on my lower lash line. Now I'm gonna take my JH39 and I'm gonna go into the blue that we used on top of the eyes, this one up here. And I'm gonna go on the bottom lash line and I'm gonna use that and keep it a lot tighter on my bottom lash, so it blends out into the light blue. And that is it for the eyeshadow. Now I am gonna be using Kiss lashes called Firery Fairies. I had never seen these before. These are in the style Charmed, and I like how they fanned out. It shows that they were made specifically for Halloween exclusives, and I was kind of excited about trying them once I saw them. And we are also going to be using the Wet n Wild Color Blast mascara. This is in blue. I really wanted to stick with the theme of the underwater merman, and I thought, why not blue mascara to just tie everything together. I'm gonna put a coat of mascara on. It's not nearly as pigmented as I would have hoped, but it's blue, so I got what I wanted, I guess. I'm gonna have to use the ominous black lash glue. I'm gonna give it another shot and see if I can pull this off without destroying the eyeshadow. Let it be known that I am not a fan of black lash glue. I'm so scared of it. Okay, lash glue is on the band. They apply. Thank God. Time to put on the mascara and blend them together. And now we move on to the next eyelash. That band went a little high up that time. Ooh, that band went a lot high up that time. Okay, and those lashes are applied, and we are going to run some mascara through those big old bad babies. And I'm putting just a little bit of the blue mascara on the top, not a crazy coat, just so you can kind of see it whenever I blink. You just get that hint of blue, so it's like, wait, are his eyelash? Yeah, they are blue, that kind of thing. Now I will say, this mascara is definitely more of a, like a costume cosplay type mascara, because it's definitely leaving my eyelashes chunky, but that's the only way you can really get the color to show. The L'Oreal Paris Silk SMA Cobalt Blue Eye Pencil. And I'm just gonna put this in my bottom waterline. Or I'm gonna just jab myself in the eyeball with it. Okay, and that's it for the waterline. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of highlighter. I am gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Winter Falls in LA highlighter. It's a white highlighter, but it's kind of got a duochrome to it. It's got really a little bit of blue, but it's kind of a teal blue. And I'm gonna go in with my JH09 brush, and I'm gonna get quite a bit of product on there. because who can ever have enough highlighter? Especially a merman. A merman has to have a lot of highlighter. Oh, that's perfect. See, the really awesome thing about this is that I don't have to worry about precision with this highlighter, because the more highlighter I have, the more wet I'm gonna look, the more I'm gonna look like I'm from an underwater magical place where merman and mermaid truly exist. Oh, that highlighter is so nice. Oh. So let's diffuse that out a tad, shall we? That's better. I'm gonna take just a little bit on my finger and go right down my nose. Yeah, that's nice. Now I'm gonna go in with my JH02 brush, and I'm gonna go into this blush in the Master Blush Maybelline collection. It's a color and highlight kit, and I'm gonna use this purpley pink on the far end. I wanted to really get some kind of icy blue shade just to really get the feel going, but this is as close to blue as I can find. I'm just gonna dab that on my cheeks, and I'm always so scared of blush, so scared, because every blush I use is so pigmented that I'm afraid I'm gonna just saturate my entire face with pigment, and I don't want that ever, except for right now because I'm putting blue all over my face. Like that. That ended up so pigmented, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to diffuse that out at all. Okay, it did. Very nice. Okay, so I think we are done with the face. The only thing we have left to do are lips. Now this is where it's gonna get interesting, because I have a few products and I really don't know how I want to do this. I wanted to do like a white to blue ombre, starting with the white on the inside, maybe with the blue on the inside, I don't know. But either way, it didn't work out because I could not find a white lipstick for the life of me. MAC didn't have one at Ulta, NYX didn't have one at Ulta, Stila didn't have one at Ulta, nobody had one at Ulta, and I just kept looking and looking and I couldn't find one. I ended up getting NYX Liquid Suede in Little Denim Dress, and I ended up getting a NYX Duochromatic in the shade Lucid, and I was thinking maybe I could combine these two, use this as a topper and use the Liquid Suede as the base. I looked at my own collection and I didn't really have any blues, so I was thinking I could use those two. I also got a NYX Suede matte lip liner in shade Jet Set. It's like a navy dark blue. I thought I could somehow combine these three things and make some really interesting, nice looking mermaid lips. I don't know exactly how it's gonna turn out for sure, but wish me luck. So I'm gonna start out by lining my lips with the NYX Suede matte lip liner. This formula is really, really nice because it's super smooth. Once it heated up a little bit and I started applying it, it goes on so silky. Okay, that's enough. Lip time. That is not the color I expected. I really like this lipstick. The NYX Liquid Suede in Little Denim Dress is really, really nice. I like that a lot. It goes on nicely. It's fluid and clean. And now we're gonna try this Duochromatic Shimmer Lip Gloss over the top of that. This gloss is actually really, really nice. I wish it wasn't blending in with the lipstick underneath it, because by itself, it's so good. That's it for the lips. I think that's a pretty nice touch. I have one more thing I'd like to do with the highlighter, of course, because I just can't stop using the highlighter. I'm gonna take my clean JH40 and go back into the Wet n Wild Winter Falls in LA highlighter, and I am going to pack that highlighter pretty intensely on the brush and just pop it into my inner corners. Yes! I'm just gonna, dip back into my highlighter, brush it anywhere. The one very last thing I want to do, and this will be the completion to the look, I am going to use my Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. I came from underwater. I am going to douse my face in setting spray. Okay guys, this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. I really had a lot of fun with this look, and if you did too, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up and to subscribe so you can catch my next video next time. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.